Hi guys, welcome to Kongsberg Target Systems. This is a short presentation of one of the packages that we have on our website. I am Natanya and I will give you a short tour around the products that are included. And I can begin by saying that every single package that our customers get is individually prepared, especially for that customer. So what you get is a fully upgraded entirely ready system, and it's pretty much just plug and play. So let's get to it. The first item here is the target, our OpticScore target, and alongside that we have the pellet catcher with the pellet catcher cup. Then we have the cables connecting the targets. We have the witness plate, and then we have included also 10-meter air rifle and 10-meter air pistol front templates. And moving along, we have cables, and then we have a power supply for the target line. Here we have included a complete plug-and-play cable that goes to connect the target line with the firing line. And moving on to the firing line, we have another power supply. We have a signal distribution unit that actually connects everything so the targets can communicate with the monitors. Also, we have all cables that are needed for setting this system up. And here we have our civilian monitors that are included in the package with monitor stands, tabletop monitor stands. This is the basic package without the lift, but we have the opportunity to offer you also the target lift system for 3-position shooting. This is what you'll get if you actually decide to purchase this. And we have the target poles, we have the brackets for mounting it on the floor, and then we have the lift itself. So the first thing we need to do is to put together the pellet catcher. This is quite easy, and what you need to do is just make sure that you place this correctly here, and then you use the screws that came along. And there we go. And the next one. And in order to make sure that it is completely tight, we use a drill, and there we go. All right, and after we've done this, we will install it on the wall, and then we have our pellet catcher cup that we simply just put here. That's it. So this is the fixed position wall-mounted target holder / pellet catcher, and we have cheated a little bit because it is possible to mount this on your own, but it is quite difficult. So we have already screwed in the screws. And all right, so this is the way that you actually mount the target onto the bracket up here. You want to make sure that you keep these on top of the metal plate. So just be very careful when you do this. There and there. And then you use the torque. And this is a very important part. You don't want to tighten this too much because this part down here is made of plastic, and it can easily, if you tighten it too much, it might actually stress the plastic, and you don't want that. So just like, very, very easily like this. So now you have the target up here. And if you want to just check out the very easy way of installing the witness plate, you see back here, there's a little slot where you can just slide it right in there. Very easy. And the front is just also very, very simple. You just pull this one a little bit. There you go. And finally, you have the front of the target. And here you want to make sure that you do this very evenly so that the magnets down here, they actually fit, because you want to make sure that it's nice and firm like that. So that's how you set up the target itself. When you want to change the front plate, the easiest way of doing this is actually just putting your fingers here and gently just push and pull it back out. This is how you do it. Okay, now we want to show you how to put together the target lift. And the first thing you want to do is take a little bit of rubbing alcohol or any other cleaner, just to make sure that these little areas right here are spotless and clean. Down here you see the bottom switch activator. I've already placed that one on there. But what you do is you just peel off this little piece of plastic, and then you place it right there. That's part of it. And then we have the stop bracket in the bottom. We have these little screws, and you just place them right there. There we go. And the second one. Like that. And then we have the magnets that are actually going to control the lift going up and down, and you just put them inside these little marked areas. And as you can see, there's already, you have all the text and everything, so you know where to put them. There we go. And finally, we have the floor bracket itself for actually mounting the lift, and it's gonna hold a lot of weight, so we want to make sure that it's installed properly. So this is very important that you actually use all the screws and bolts and place this on here. That and like that. I'm not gonna take you through the whole thing because it takes a little bit of time, and basically all you gotta do is just screw all the screws here and make sure that they're nice and tight and firm. So there are several ways of actually installing the target lift, and I'm gonna show you 2 of the ways right now. The third way is if you have a concrete floor, you can actually just install it directly into the floor, but it has to be very secure because it's a lot of force going into these targets and a lot of weights and stuff like that. So it has to be very, very secure. But this is one of the ways that you can do it. It's plywood, and it has to be extremely solid because, again, there's a lot of force on these targets and the lifts. So you want to make sure that the wood is not going to crack or get destroyed in any other way. So you see these screws that are here, 4 of them, and then put the target or plywood down like that, and you simply take the target stand right here, and then you carefully place it on top of these screws, and thank you kindly, sir. You just simply put on the bolts and make sure that it's very tight because you don't want this to tip over. There we go. And I'll use a little helper here. There, that's one of the ways of installing it. The second one is actually doing it the other way around a little bit with other kinds of screws. You just basically place the target. We already drilled the holes here, so it was ready made for this. And you simply just use these screws. Again, 4 of them. There. Switch this one out. There you go. And the final one. And there we go. All set. So this is the actual target lift that we're gonna install on the target pole itself. And as you can see here, these wheels are adjustable, and that's because you need to, when you place it on the target pole, it has to be adjusted so it'll line up with this wheel right here. So that's what we're gonna do. And this is kind of why I have Bjarne assisting me here, is because this is a sort of a two-person job. It's not very easy to do this on your own because you have to press this down to make sure that this one is tight.
Press this wheel towards the pole as well?
Yep. And then you have to lift it up and do the same thing for the top wheel.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, now we're getting ready for the installation of the target itself on the target lift, which is actually quite easy. I've unscrewed these screws up here, and all I need to do now is just place one there and one here. And the easiest way of doing this is actually just twisting it a little bit and just making sure that it's not tight, but you want to make sure that the target does not fall on the ground. And the reason why I'm not tightening these all the way is because now we want to install the bullet catcher. And this is very easily done by just making sure that this hole doesn't get in the way. And basically just sliding this in there. And then you just tighten the screws, but make sure that you don't tighten them too much, because again, the plastic frame can get injured or destroyed if you do it too hard. There you go, and then you will need a pair of these. You just gently cut this open, and this one. There. And then you just basically, you take the cord, you put it down here, and then there's this plug right here, and you just put it in there and you just tighten the screws. And that's pretty much it. So now we have been through pretty much everything regarding the installation of the targets and the lifts and everything. And this is the final part. As you can see, we have cables connecting the different targets here. And they're quite easy, and it's pretty much just plug and play. It's a male and female cable that you just plug in. And you pretty much, it's very difficult to do this wrong, which is basically impossible. So one thing that's very important is that the targets come from Kongsberg target systems and are already numbered and already installed with everything they need. And it's very important that target number 1 is the one that's going to be closest to the power supply over here. As you can see, power supply is here, cabling going into the wall. And of course, depending on what country you're from, we can supply the different types of cables and power supplies that you'll need. Going further, there's the cable that is connecting the target line with the firing line, which is up here with the central signal distribution unit, connecting everything. And there's another power supply right here, goes into the wall. And back out here we have a daisy chain for the monitors, and as you can see, they're all set up here, very easily installed and pretty much just plug and play as well. And this is basically the 3-lane 10-meter air rifle / pistol system. As you can see, 2 of the targets are mounted with the lifts, and 1 is mounted on the wall. Okay, so now we have set up the entire system, and we have the 2 target lifts, and we have 1 that's mounted on the wall, and we have our 3 monitors right here. I've set up an air rifle here, and I want to show you guys how you actually quite easily change the position of the lift. This is done by, as you can see right now, it's in standing position. I want to sit down when I do my shooting, which is going to be at the kneeling position. What you do right here is just press New Series. Over here you just choose whatever you want. I want kneeling, and I just press there, and then I say OK. And then you can see the target is actually moving down to kneeling position. So now I'm going to show you guys what it's going to look like on the monitor when you actually shoot on the target. There, you see it hits the target, and then it shows up on the monitor exactly where you hit. That's basically it, guys.